Guys, level design guy here. I've been playing a lot of Lost Ark lately, and I really started kind of liking the different mechanics that I saw in it because I haven't really played a lot of isometric games. And one of them was just the camera zoom. And I mean, I get it, camera zooms are pretty simple to do, and for those of you who know how to do it, I'll show you really quick. But one of the things that they do that I really liked was the nice little camera swoop right at the end. It gives you this nice little vanity shot. Going back out, it comes back out. Now theirs is kind of in three different stages. It just kind of goes from a long range to mid range and then into that vanity shot. But I really like having that control over exactly where my camera is. So we're going to show you guys how to do that. Launch whatever version of Unreal it is that you want to use. I'm using Unreal Engine 5. And I've already got mine open in the background. Forgot to let you guys know that, hey, we're doing this. But open up a game, the games folder, and pick top down. Just doing this because it's very easy to get the isometric view with it, and you can go from there. Pick that. You can have starter content if you want. Name it something nice. I named mine camera zoom tutorial, I think. And yeah, we'll go. I'll meet you back in there. We're gonna open up our camera guy, which is in the top down key under blueprints, top down character. And we're gonna grab him. And first thing, we're gonna go ahead and set this up. We're gonna grab our spring arm camera here, spring arm 1 if you're using the top down version. The actual spring arm is a VR thingy, but we want the spring arm 1. And you'll notice it's a top down. But we're wanting more of an isometric. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually set this the y-axis on the spring arm, not the camera, but on the spring arm. We're gonna set that to -45. Get this nice little isometric view instead. Anyways, I don't really like that length, so we're gonna set it to 650. Oh, something really quick that I've been noticing, and yeah, so normally this guy, I think if we just set it back, is it? No, maybe not. I don't remember what they had it set to, but it was something like this. And the reason that they would do that is if you got too close to this wall, you'll see over it and you can still move, right? One little trick, let's say we had a really big wall. I'll show you what would happen if we don't do this trick. We have a big wall. Well, now our cursor gets stuck outside that wall. We don't like that. So, how do we fix that? Sorry, little side note thingy really quick, just for those of you that are interested. If not, skip ahead. But what we can do is we can turn on camera collision. And this is back on the spring arm itself, and then under camera collision, we can do collision test. If this isn't working for you, try messing with the probe set. It should be perfectly fine to default. So what we can do is run over here now, get really close to it, and you notice the camera doesn't go outside that wall anymore. It just gets really close to the player. It doesn't matter how hard we try to get close to that wall, it gets really close to the player. That just solves that issue right there. All right. Back in our blueprint, we've got the camera set up, we've got the target arm length, we got everything pretty much set up. We just need to start grabbing some variables and making some variables to remember and use later. So one of the first things that we're going to want to do is we're going to grab that spring arm. We're going to want to get the get relative rotation. I'm going to go ahead and grab that to promote that to a variable. I call it alt cam rotation. The reason I'm not calling it spring arm rotation is because as long as I have a spring arm, I'm not going to be changing the actual camera rotation ever, and I would never suggest doing it because you're going to break the spring arm if you do. Try and do most of your work on the spring arm itself. But yeah, we'll set that guy up. Next thing we need to do is we need a custom event Oh, no, 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 no. I'm jumping ahead. We actually need to get the mouse axis input. Mouse axis input. But the mouse wheel. Yeah. And so we need to know, is this guy moving? And the easiest way to do that is check to see if it's not equal to 0. Because if it's 1, it's moving in one direction. If it's 2, you're scrolling it the other direction. Or sorry, not 2. If it's 1, it's in one direction. If it's -1, it's in the other direction. 0 means it's not moving at all. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say not equal. Write that out either with the words or you just use exclamation point equal. And then we're gonna hold B and left click, get a branch, plug that guy in, and we're gonna see if it's not equal to 0. Now we need to set up a variable that we're going to be using as like basically our target arm length, is what I have it named on the other project. But it's basically the arm length to get to. I think that's what I'm going to call it this time because it's a little bit easier to remember. So what we're going to do is come over to our variables. We're going to hit the plus and we're going to call this, oh yeah, I'm just going to call it length to get to. Actually, and I want to say, I have to do this to get to. I don't know, that's a bad habit of naming things. Don't do it. but for our purposes, it works, right? And we're gonna hold Alt, left click, and drag out. That way we get it instantly to a set version of it. And we're gonna set this guy up. And that's bothering me now. Length to get to. Sorry. Sometimes I get weird. All right. Now we're gonna take this axis value and we're gonna multiply it by a speed. We're gonna keep the speed negative. So say negative, and I'm gonna say like 75. We're gonna add that to our current arm length. So we're gonna grab our spring arm 1. We're gonna get target target stacking. I like doing my stuff like this, a nice little way of keeping it clean for me. A lot of people will probably yell at me for this in the comments, but a lot of people have it like this. It's however you want it. You'll see me stacking them. If it goes with this, then I just stack it on top of it. For me, it just keeps it nice and clean. Preferences, that's all it is. All right, so we have this, but we want to clamp it. Otherwise, we're going to end up with these really, really extreme, make it to where the player can just zoom all the way out forever or zoom all the way in forever. We want to clamp this. And what we're going to end up doing is a clamp float. Thank you. And I'm going to say our minimum value, let's set to like 200. Right, and our max, let's say 1200 out there. And then we're gonna plug this guy in here, and I just thought about something. Let's compile, save. Let's go ahead and set this guy up to whatever our length is, which I think was 650. Yeah, our current default target arm length is 650. If we hadn't done that, whenever we'd hit play, this would have been inside the character pretty much, because it would have been moving it to this length, which was 0 at the time. So we're going to have it already at that 650 reach so we can actually see what's going on. This, right now, this would get us working, but I don't think we're not calling this yet, are we? No. Okay. Here's a nice little another trick for you guys. If you can't find, you know, you have an event tick or whatever in the level or in the loop in the graph, and you want to use it, just type it out again, hit enter. It'll bring you right to it. Oh, what would we name this guy? Oh, we haven't made a custom event yet. Okay, sorry. Let's do a custom event really quick. Custom event. I don't know why I thought this would actually do something, but we're gonna call this set arm length. Yeah, that'll work. And this is gonna take an input of type float, and we're gonna call this delta time. So if you didn't see how I made the input, I came over here to the right on the details panel. I hit this little plus. I set its name and I changed its type to float. Compile that, save, and then we're going to come back up here to our event tick. Set arm length, call it. Pass those delta time in. I like to promote this to a variable right off the bat, the delta time, because I like using it in other stuff. So we're going to keep that later. Then we could just set the get this. We can say get the target arm length. Sorry, not get, but set. We can set the target arm length right now to the length to get to. Right? We could, but that would just snap it straight to there and gross. Well, I mean, it wouldn't really snap it, but here, let me show you. Basically, we have this like jerking action. That's just nobody's a fan of that. So let's fix that. Let's clean that up. So, best way of doing it is an interpolation. Basically, interpolation, what it does is it takes a, and let me grab it, the nodes while I'm talking about this. We'll call it, it's an F interp 2, right? And what we can do is we can get our current length. I'll set it up and then I'll explain it. Get current, so get target arm length. Plug that into our current, and our target is going to be this length to get to. Let me actually get rid of that really quick. There. Then our delta time, you guessed it, is delta time. And then our interp speed, I'm going to say about 10. And then we plug this in up here. So basically what this is doing is it's saying, okay, where are you right now? Where are you currently? Where do you want to be? How, well, this uses the time to track how fast the interpolation is, and then what the actual interpolation speed is. Okay. And then that, opposed to the other way, it's much smoother. Now, the juicy part. When we get within a certain distance, we want it to kind of do a vanity view, this nice straight on look. So as of right now, we zoom in and we're still kind of just getting this top down view, so we only get this one angle, but we really want that swoop in, nice vanity look. So what we're going to do is we're going to find out what our arm length is. Since we've already got it here, we can just pull off and say if that less than a certain length, I'm going to say 400 because that's what I used in my other project and I know it works. Well, any length would work, but you get the idea. I know it's a good length. So if it's less than 400, we are going to change rotation to a different rotation. So let's say if it's less than 400, we want to set the relative rotation of, and it's a spring arm 1, right? Spring arm 1. Just type that. And that way it just gave us our node really fast and everything. It's nice, it's pretty, it's great. Get you up there. Okay. And I did location and rotation. I didn't want that. Dang it. Set relative rotation. There we go. So used to typing location. Okay. So we could just set it to 0, 0, 0 because that would that would be a nice straight on view, right? Well, spoiler, it wouldn't look very good getting there. That's part of the issue. Remember how it was with our F-interp? Prior to that, it was very sharp and not smooth at all, and just didn't look good, right? So, well, there's an interpolation for rotation as well. So what we can do, we type R interp 2. Same idea, we get a current rotation for it, and then we set a target rotation, and we interpolate between the two. So for this, we're going to go ahead and plug this in down here. We're going to get let's just copy our spring arm, paste it over there, and get the relative rotation. We're working in relative space because it's within the character. I mean, I think you could use world space too for this. Yeah, pretty sure you could. Wouldn't be a problem. I'm saying that in like 10 minutes from now, I'm going to think of something and go, oh god, I can't believe I told him that. So we'll just do relative right now. Plug that into our current, and then what we want to do is we want to get the default, because the default we already know is -45 in the Y. We're gonna pull this apart, we're gonna break it, right? This is just a nice easy way of saying turn it at a certain amount of distance in a direction. So what we can do is we can add 45, because right now our camera is -45, so if we add 45 to it, it becomes 0. Flip this guy and just plug that into the... Why does it feel like the Y would be wrong? Yeah, no, the Y is correct. Yeah, I think. Anyways, we'll find out in a second anyways. We're going to plug in our delta time. We're going to get our delta time and then plug it in because it doesn't want to do it on its own for some reason right now. And we're going to set an interp speed of 1. You know that's nice and pretty. And then we need... Oh, hold on. Oh, okay. I was about to say that doesn't look right. We need to find out... We only want to do this if we're not at 000 already, right? So what we can do is get our default camera rotation. Wait, no. Sorry, I'm being dumb. We can grab this spring arm and its relative rotation, copy paste, and we can say if that's not equal to 000 with a tolerance of 0.1, just plug that in there. So if we're already at 0, we don't need to change to 0 because we're already there. Then same idea down here, branch guy. This is where we're going to be setting it back to our default. So if we're already at our default, then we don't need to switch to our default, right? Grab the camera arm, paste it, grab all. I don't want the breakage though. I don't like having it split if I don't need it split, so I'm just gonna pull off that and say R interp 2. Does anybody know if there's a way, if I split this, is there a way to put it back together without having to just redo it like that? If you know, please put in the comments. I'm going to plug that guy in, and we're going to grab our default camera rotation, plug it in, our delta time, plug it in. See, this one, like, let me plug it straight in. And set our interp speed to 1. I'm missing something. Good. So basically, this right here was move camera to target location. This was our vanity camera swoop. Sure. And this is our camera input up here. This is where we were grabbing the axis. So this is just get camera, or sorry, get mouse wheel. I spell wheel. Movement. Sure. That should be, that would be much better. Now let's make sure that it actually works. And so we can change our thing and around. It's fun. It's great. Yeah. Play nice and close if we really wanted to. Go out really far. Play back here. But as you can see, as I get closer, swoop down, zoom back out, it'll swoop up. Let me move away from that because it kind of jerked a little bit when it hit the vision for the box behind it. There you go. Easy peasy. And, you know, lemon, whatever. That's it. If you guys are wanting to see anything else, let me know. I am doing a lot of Lost Ark stuff right now, trying to kind of like emulate some of the stuff. One of the things I'm working on. Grab that really. There we go. One of the things I'm working on right now is a nice little dynamic mission system. Basically, no, I'm not showing the code because I'm not too sure if I'm gonna put this on the marketplace or not. Yeah, just give out my code. Just kidding. But one of the nice things about it is we have a nice little component here that we can just set up, and we can set the name, set the color of the name within the dialogue, and then we can set up different areas of dialogue, responses, what do those mean, where those responses go, whole bunch of really nice, great stuff. Set up events, set up quests. Doesn't have the quest in it yet. I need to work on that, but we can set up custom events that you can just grab straight on the itself. And here, let me give you a little sneak peek at that. So I'm gonna just right click on this guy. We're gonna run over to him. And it's gonna path us to him and instantly bring us into this. And then he speaks to us. We hit next. Since that was the end of his speech, we get a nice little dialogue thingy, and then I can, you know, ask him, "Who are you?" And just gives us this whole spiel. Notice I don't have any other buttons yet until he's done talking, or she, I guess, in this case. And depending on the answer, if I say yes, he's happy, he'll talk to me again. If I say nope, and I try and talk to him again, away, you don't like my system. So from now on, and this is a nice little camera change. This is actually using a view target change instead of using all the math that we did a minute ago. And then we have other people we can talk to. Teleports us to a specific spot. Station in. I'm just now getting all the animations set up. It's nice, it's pretty, it's great. And we have a nice little scroll bar in here. If we had extra buttons, we'd have a scroll bar here as well. Leave. Off. Also, whenever you mouse over, the little green thingy turns blue, and we get this nice custom cursor that pops in. So these are a lot of things that if you guys are wanting to see it, please let me know down in the comments below. Join the Discord, suggest different videos, ask questions. Let's get in there, let's get some discussions going. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell for extra videos in the future. Extra videos. To know when I'm putting videos out. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Thank you.